He is one of the country's leading ethnographers. Yale professor Elijah Anderson has been documenting violence and life in Black communities, including right here in Chicago. His new book is called Black in White Space: The Enduring Impact of Color in Everyday Life. And Elijah joins us live this morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. So let's start with this. How can stereotypes shape and define the experiences of Black people, especially when they are moving and navigating through these spaces that are predominantly white?
Well, I'll tell you, the Black folk I interviewed over 300 people, Blacks and whites and others. And I learned basically that the white space itself is objectified by Black people, and they oftentimes see it as a challenge, so to speak. And they have to deal with the people there, the people who control that space, and they fear and become very concerned about what is really the new color line. This book is about the new color line, and that color line is manifested in the end moment, what Black people call the end moment. Now, white people don't know very much about the end moment, as it's called, but Black people, every Black person almost knows about the end moment and has experienced the end moment. The end moment is a moment of acute, racialized disrespect based on Blackness. And when a person gets too close to the line or violates that line, she sometimes gets put back in their place. And these moments can be small, or they can be big. The little moments people try to ignore, so many slights, that kind of thing. But the big ones are more consequential. They can get you fired. They can get you written up at work. They can get you arrested by the police and killed, if you will. So, these are the big moments.
So, Professor Anderson, what role does economic class play in that?
Well, every Black person of any class, because they've got Black skin, runs into the same moment, you see. This is not necessarily a class-based thing. Basically, in order to navigate the white space itself, Black people who do that try to convince the white people they're dealing with that their stereotypes about the ghetto do not apply to them. And so they perform respectability. But some Black people call this derisively the dance. All of this is outlined in the book. All of this is told about the book. The book is essentially about the new color line, you see. And my hope is that more people who know about this, I mean, if we know about this, we can do something about it. Blacks and together.
How have your own personal experiences informed your work? Because you spent some time in Chicago as well, right?
Absolutely. I did a study of Black street corner men for my dissertation when I was a graduate student at the University of Chicago getting my PhD. And I finished up at Northwestern under Howard Becker. But basically, I had lots of personal experiences. And as a person, as part of the racial incorporation process, a member of this new Black middle class, I've had my moments of acute disrespect as well. In fact, these moments of acute disrespect, the fact that they were so present, really pointed out for me how important this work would be. You see, to identify and to describe this moment of acute disrespect based on Blackness. And this is the new color line. In the old days, it wasn't, it was bold, and people kind of knew their places. They knew where it was. In today's world, with the progress that we've made in race relations, that line has become blurred, you see. And the blurriness of it means that it becomes this third rail of race relations. And when you touch it, some people try to put you back in your place. And that can be painful.
So what do you think can be done to break down some of these barriers?
I think education, and this book is designed to educate people about it, you see. Black people know this end moment. White people typically do not. And my theory is that the more people who know about it, whites and Blacks alike, maybe the fewer of these moments we'll have. And that will help race relations in this country.
And you talk a lot in the book about these viral moments. For example, the two men who had the police called on them at the Starbucks in Philadelphia, and how that generated nationwide outrage. But you don't think these things are happening more often now? It's just that we have the cell phone technology to bring it to more people.
Absolutely. I make that point. Cell phones have been a really important factor in all of this because people can see it and they can report it, they can film it, you see, and then people become aware. But again, this is a concept, the in moment. This is what to call this blatant discrimination that occurs, that still occurs in our society. And it's not just black people who get it. I mean, you can be Muslim, you can be Asian, you can be a white woman, you can be gay, and you can have this kind of a moment. They don't call it the in moment. They say, well, I had my gay moment, I had my Muslim moment, or I had my woman moment, or whatever. But it's a moment of acute disrespect based on your particularity, you see. And it's all outlined in this book.
All right, Elijah Anderson, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You can find his new book, Black and White Space, wherever you buy your books. Hi there, Tim.
It is a cold morning around Chicago.